actually one of my first childhood memories was watching the Viking lander set down on the surface of Mars in 1976. I don't know if anybody else remembers that. But I remember thinking at the time, as a boy, that one day I wanted to do that. One day I wanted to land something on Mars. And I knew right then, actually, that I wanted to work for NASA. So I went to school, I went to high school, I did okay, not great in high school. And I went off to college into aerospace engineering, and I was lucky because I got picked up by NASA right out of school, right out of my undergraduate career. I went to work at the Langley Research Center in Virginia, and my dreams came true because the project they put me on right away, my very first project out of school, was to figure out how to land humans on Mars. It's pretty cool, right? I figured it out, by the way. I know how to do it. I'll tell you later. We obviously haven't done that yet, but it's still one of my goals. What I have done, though, through NASA is I've been involved in the robotic Mars program, and I have actually landed things on Mars. I helped land the Mars Pathfinder mission, and I helped land several other of our robotic spacecraft on Mars. And that, for me, was, as I said, a dream come true. I worked at NASA from 1987 until about 2003. And in 2003, I left NASA because I wanted to try life in a university. And I'm actually, right now, I'm still a faculty member at the Georgia Institute of Technology in the School of Aerospace Engineering, where I teach, I see a couple of hats over there, where I teach and I have a graduate research program, work with students. And mostly what we do at Georgia Tech in my program is we work on developing technologies for future NASA missions. So about 3 months ago, I got a phone call from NASA's administrator, Charlie Bolden. And he asked if I'd come up to Washington and join his leadership team as the chief technologist for NASA. So you can imagine what I said, right? It didn't take me long. I was on the next flight up, and I've been there ever since. And let me tell you, it's a dream job for me. It'd be a dream job for anyone. Basically, my job is to think about the future and think about the technologies that would be required to enable future science and future human exploration missions. And then to sponsor the development of those technologies and make them happen, right? Now, I mean, I'm not talking about warp drive, and I'm not talking about a transporter, but I am talking about new approaches to propulsion, new approaches to keeping our astronauts safe in space so that we can do long-duration flights. You all heard that the president wants to send humans to an asteroid in 2025, right? That's a tough mission. That's a deep space mission. We've never actually sent humans into deep space. To do so requires long-duration stays in space, long-duration stays in the microgravity environment, long-duration stays in the radiation environment of space, and it requires some technologies that, frankly, aren't quite ready today. So you can see I have my job cut out for me. And it's been a lot of fun. It's been a little bit like drinking from the fire hose, I'll admit that. The 3 months has been very intense in Washington, and I have a great group of people at all the NASA centers all around the country that are working with me. On my team, by the way, there are folks from every NASA center at this point. And what we're really doing is we're putting in place a plan for the future of NASA. So let me pause here and ask you guys a question, because I'm just curious about this one. When you think of NASA, what do you think of? Anybody? Science? Anybody else? Space flight, I heard. Anybody else? Exploration? Astronauts? The right stuff. That's a good one. Robotics? What's that? Something over here? Let's hear it for manned space flight. There you go. That's a good one. I've been waiting for that one. Okay, so those are all, that's great. But you know what's interesting about those responses? Nobody said a particular program or a particular project. Nobody said the space shuttle. Nobody said the Hubble Space Telescope. Nobody said the Mars exploration rovers, right? Which, by the way, are all awesome things, right? What you said instead, I think, is very intelligent. You guys actually boiled it up to themes. to larger themes like human exploration or robotics or the right stuff. So let me tell you what I think about when I hear the word NASA. It's very simple. I think about our nation being at the cutting edge. Period. Period. That's all there is to it, to NASA. That's what NASA's all about. NASA's about the United States of America being at the cutting edge technologically. And that's why, as Chief Technologist, I'm very excited to be back at NASA. And that's really what I'm trying to do and what the new administration is trying to do. Now, I know that you've heard a lot. There's been an awful lot of debate. It's been in the newspapers about the new program versus the old program. And actually, if you have questions about that, I'd be happy to take those questions. But what you need to realize is that the new program, in fact, the reason that I came back to NASA was for the new program. And regardless of what you think about the old program, I actually thought it was pretty good. But regardless of what you think about the old program, the new program is about getting America at the cutting edge, about getting America's technological competence and economic competitiveness through technology up so that we can compete in the global marketplace. The new program is about research and development. The new program is about technology-oriented jobs all across this country. The new program is about space work, not just at NASA, but in academia, in industry, and in all 50 states. Okay? And to me, that's incredibly exciting. And just to be honest with you, that's why I came back to NASA to be the Chief Technologist, because that's something I believe in. Okay? And so with that as an opening, let me see if you have any questions. Because, by the way, I could talk on and on and on. I'm happy to do that. But I'd rather take questions. Yes, ma'am.